However, it's election season. We've heard people already started declaring without declaring. We've seen and heard insinuations from even the current president. What three major agendas or points do you feel the next president should concentrate on to win your votes?
For me, one, I'm for any candidate who is huge on reworking the nature of federalism. The nature
Inclusion.
yes. The decentralizing the power from the center, and because I believe that will be as the closest to a silver bullet we have to solving a lot of our problems. It all depends on oil, nature of our politics, a lot of integration, a lot of that. That's very, very huge for me. I think for me that takes about 50% of my heart, if not more. Secondly, it will be someone who focuses on jobs. And for jobs means everything else incorporated into it. Everything we do, how will you create jobs, infrastructure, how do you create jobs. And then after that, huge one is education reforms.
Good enough for that. I don't know, three major agendas or points you think the next presidential candidate should focus on in order to win your vote.
Very critical for me would be the economic agenda. As a person, I'm a proponent of free market, limited government. I would really like to see that in any candidate I'm going to support. Something that speaks to my idea of what the economy should be, and not some slogans, of fixing things or making the naira and the dollar come together. I mean, we don't want to hear all of that, or increasing minimum wage or stuff like that. We want solid economic proposals that can revitalize the economy. Another thing I would like to see is your social development agenda. Poverty, in Nigeria is endemic. I have been looking at the charts. I mean, there was a chart released by the World Economic Forum that showed that poverty elsewhere in the world is on the decline, but it's increasing in Nigeria. It's terrible, and this has to do with a number of things. Poverty alone is not about absence of money. It's about human dignity. Nigerians don't have access to health. Nigerians don't have access to education. So I want to see a cohesive social development plan. And the other issue right now is the issue of security. No matter what you say, the last election, the candidate who eventually won ran on a promise, to make Nigeria more secure again. But guess what? We didn't see the plans for it. We didn't see the how of it. And security in Nigeria was reduced at the time to Boko Haram. But Boko Haram has killed about 400 people over 6 months, and I'm not downplaying this. But Fulani herdsmen have killed more people. Armed robbers and kidnappers have killed more people. So we need a serious security agenda and holistic police reforms. I would want to see guns taken away from these people and replace that with solid community relations and treating people with respect and dignity. And I want to hear these things from the candidate I would support.
It's quite hard when we've had, so in the last elections, our current president, I don't recall him speaking at any campaign tour for up to 10 minutes. Some people will tell you a maximum of 4 or 5 minutes. And so we've also had presidential candidates refuse to debate.
To attend debates.
Do you think debates play a major role in convincing the voting population?
It's funny, in as much as I love debates, they don't. That is our truth. And we don't have numbers here. I don't very much agree with me on that. But if you look at other places, debates sway only the people who are undecided, who are on the fence.
Well, like I said, we have about 40 million people who
are disinterested.
Not interested.
Exactly, but those people, but some people either don't have an opinion at all, or they have strongly entrenched opinions. And I'll give you an example. In 2011, there was a debate. So we had the current president, we had...
I think Kwankwaso,
no,
we had
Shekarau.
Shekarau, who was very brilliant.
Yeah, and Shekarau was excellent in that debate.
Yes, it didn't amount to
It made no difference in the voting.
Then what do you think?
So I'll just get a point quickly. Like I say, people have the ability to create alternative facts or to find ways to justify their opinions. So debates, to a large extent, have become an almost feel-good thing we don't really make a dent in how people vote.
Yes, I mean, like, the data supports his argument. I think that one of the underlying data is the fact that we have about 30 million out of school children, or whatever the number is. So it takes a highly educated society to appreciate, the quality that debate brings to the electoral system and to our democracy. For me, I'm very big on debate. Any candidate that shies away under any guise from a debate, even else is not permitted, would not get my support. I would actively campaign against the person. But one of the important things I think that we need to do is to look at the biggest voting populations that we currently have. According to data from 2015, students, Nigerian students, people registered identifying themselves as students, constitute the highest number of voters in Nigeria. 21% in 2015 of the voters were students. Students appreciate debate. I think what we need to do is to put students back at the front of the agenda again and make them demand for.
So in the last 2 years, we've experienced some of the longest ASU strikes with our universities, and those are the same students who want them to come vote. So I agree with you saying students should play a major role, and whoever is contesting needs to focus on them. And it's not just about throwing up the words youth. So you hear an article throw up the words youth a lot, but it's something we're tired of hearing. We need to see, and it's not just about what you've done with one university. How do you spread across the 36 states? So we need to go beyond saying young people, youth, and all of that. Young people to know this. It's not realistic because we've seen almost nothing has changed. We want to give young people a platform. Have the not young to run bill. Let them have an equal platform.